What up, everybody? Motherfuckers, motherfuckerettes. Welcome to another episode of Pato's Powerhouse. Well, I'm happy to be behind the microphones. I hope you motherfuckers and motherfuckerettes are doing good and awesome because, well, I'm doing good. A lot of changes lately in my life, but, you have to grow, you have to change. I don't know, every day, I just keep hustling, keep moving forward. And I guess that's the key. So I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all moving forward. And if we have to take a few steps back, I hope that we all learn from whatever it is that we're going through and use that knowledge to keep moving forward, because fuck it, that's what we're going to do, right? So I don't know. It's crazy times, right? A lot of shit going on. The writer's strike still going on, so that's putting a lot of shows on hiatus. Still have not made it out to see the Blue Beetle. I'm fucking pissed off about that. But life has been giving me challenges that I've had to overcome in order to continue my trend. But it's crazy how I look back and I can't stop but thinking that sometimes we have to go through all these processes in order to become the people that we are going to become or we're going to be. It's crazy. I mean, the last few episodes I've been talking politics and religion, which normally I used to try to avoid, but now I don't give a fuck. I talk about anything. But this time around, it's funny. As like I'm saying, as I grow older and I've shed all religious chains, all religious mentality. Yes, I mean, it sucks for some people. I mean, it's funny because it's hard to understand. And I'm not pushing my beliefs on anybody. I'm not trying to stop what you're doing. Don't believe in that, or don't believe in Jesus. Don't believe in Muhammad. I'm not saying whatever you're doing, if that shit works for you, I mean, by all means, baby, you do you. Me, for once, I can no longer be a slave to religion because in my heart, and of course, you start researching. The easiest way to become atheist, they say, is read the Bible. And that's the problem. When you read, you start paying attention to everything that's going on. In my case, I've always read the Bible and I was always questioning these irregularities. But the answer that was given to me always was, God works in mysterious ways. Our thoughts are not God's thoughts. And all those cop-out answers that we are always given, when there is no concrete or real answer. Okay, fast forward to today, it's like that was my youngster life spent as a religious person, as a Christian rapper, as someone who was struggling with his faith because it's like, do I believe? Do I don't believe? Why are Christians so messed up? Why this sense of entitlement? Especially the ones that come with that, I'm a child of a king, so I deserve this, I deserve that. Oh God. And that's just an expression. It's hard to get rid of, but mythical. It's funny. Now it's sometimes just to, I don't know, be a pain in the ass. It's like, oh my mythical, fictitious being, What I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, is that, people with those attitudes, sometimes they're the biggest turnoff for their religion, their purposes. But that's, like I said, whatever floats your boat. I'm not here to tell you yes, no. But I mean, like I said, fast forwarding, when I saw the religious right, embrace Donald Trump and everything that he is, and according to the Bible, Jesus is a totally different person. In fact, the fact that I've been watching tweets, or we still call it Twitter, even though what's-his-face changed the name of it, but Twitter and TikToks and Facebooks and YouTubes, of Christians who claim that Jesus's teachings are weak and they do not follow that Christianity. I'm like, well, first of all, you're That's the Christianity that you were indoctrinated with, that you were taught. Turn the other cheek. Love thy neighbor. Be kind to the foreigner. All that shit that in this country here right now, a lot of people don't want to embrace. And anybody that does embrace that kind of mentality is a goddamn woke liberal, Anyway, I'm just saying, if I'm saying anything. But the thing is that me personally, I've come to the realization that religion, and regardless of what religion it is, religion is just a way to manipulate people. The rich, the elite, have always used religious leaders and religions to keep the poor people, the peasants, us worker bees in our place. Because how can you control a free man? Hold his immortal soul for ransom, maybe? If you don't do this, Diosito te va a castigar. You know what? I'm practicing my Spanglish because there's this new podcast that I'm starting on Spotify, because there's going to be music. So it's another podcast on Spotify that is just going to have music. By the way, Patos and Powerhouse, second part of season 1 is coming up pretty soon. But this one, I'll talk about it later, but I got to brush up on my Spanglish, in Espanol and all that. But anyway, as I was saying before I got sidetracked here, is that, watching the religious right embrace Donald Trump just kind of turned me off. I mean, all of a sudden, those people that I considered my heroes as I was growing up, all those pastors, then now I look and see with critical thinking and a critical mind that, motherfuckers, you guys have been living off the people, enriching yourselves, all using the name of Jesus. Very shamelessly, no remorse. Some of y'all feel you are entitled to it because you're a child of the king, right? That's the story you tell all the little people that give you their hard-earned money. But you know what? I opened up my eyes to that. I saw my heroes embrace this figure, and that's when it was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back. I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. There's something wrong here. Something's rotten in Denmark, definitely, to be or not to be. I don't know what the fuck it is, but definitely a Christian I be not. So I can't be. I cannot ever go back to being religious or being a slave to that mentality. A religion that condoned slavery, there's even advice in the letters of Paul to Christians that were under the bond of slavery, that were slaves, to be good slaves to their masters for Jesus' sake, so that Jesus be glorified. Now, isn't that a colonist mentality? Many years ago, I came across this saying. In fact, I cannot remember the author, but it's basically talking about how missionaries going to Africa, and this is not word by word, but this is the general idea. He talks about how when they arrived, they had the Bibles, we had the land. We closed our eyes and prayed. We had the Bibles, they had the land. Now, crazy as that may sound, it's funny. I was just doing a little reading and research on Hawaii, and isn't it funny how we colonized Hawaii through missionaries? I mean, hey, I'm just saying, Dole Pineapple. I'm just look into that shit. But isn't it funny how a lot of the times spreading the word of a, fictitious mythological being, because I believe eventually Christianity will become mythology. I mean, right now, probably not right now or anytime soon, because having a 501c3 nonprofit corporation, it's a very profitable thing. I mean, there's a lot of people that have built their own little empires, kingdoms that they just have handed down from from generation to generation. They've created generational wealth with these 501c3 companies. That's exactly what it is, nonprofit organizations. Now, not all of them are like that. I mean, there's some nonprofits that I do support, mainly food banks. And not because I like to eat, but yeah, I like to eat. But there's like food banks that, even though some of them, like there's one here in Phoenix that, yes, it has a religious name, but I support that one because anybody can go there, regardless of faith or anybody, any walks of life going there. And if they qualify, I mean, because I guess there's so much people asking for help right now. Things are tough, but I mean, they have a network of other food banks. So I guess you have to belong to a certain zip code or district to go to a certain food bank, but they direct you to the right place and they help everybody. So, I mean, I'm cool with some nonprofit organizations that actually help the community, that help humanity, that help regular people. But I have a problem with nonprofit organizations that raise funds so that the preacher can live in $1 million mansion, so that the preacher can have a plane, so that the preacher can drive a Rolls Royce. That's the kind of nonprofits that I'm really, not really cool with. Basically, fuck them. What I'm saying, if I'm saying anything, I'm just not down with nonprofit organizations that, pay for the pastor's kids' tuition to college while the congregation people are struggling. And if you ever notice, I mean, it's something that it never dawned on me when I was a church-going person, is that whenever the church or the pastor or anybody high up in the church had a problem, they were quick to pass the offering plate. They would pass that motherfucker like there was no tomorrow. But whenever it was one of the bench warmers there, us low people that weren't part of the leadership in the church, when anybody came with a problem, all they did was gather around and pray and ask for God to open doors so that their problem would be solved. Anyway, it's not that I'm hating, but this is how I grew up. So, I mean, if you're offended by it, I mean, hey, I don't know what to tell you. We got freedom of speech, right? You use that freedom of speech to spread your gospel, to spread your news, to spread whatever. You're cool with it whenever it serves your purposes. Well, this is my freedom of speech. This is what I think. And like I said, you don't have to agree with me. I'm not even trying to push this on you, but this is how I feel. This is what I've seen. This is what I've lived. I don't know. It's so many things that I look back on and I'm like, the red flags were there. I mean, I've shared this story probably in another podcast, but when I was a younger youngster and in fire for Jesus, we used to go to this Baptist church. I was, in my late teens. And I guess we kind of picked a fight with this other religious group, JWs. And we went hardcore trying to expose them for the frauds that they were. But I remember as we were being trained to go battle these other religious people, because we have the truth, they don't. As we were training, I remember one of the persons said that, how can you identify a false prophet? And we were all like, well, how? And they're like, they will claim to be the only ones with the truth. Okay. And it's funny because that went over my head as a Christian. I didn't realize it. It's like, oh, we focused on all the false predictions that organization had made. But then it never dawned on me that there was a verse there that says, I am the way, the truth, and the light, and no one sees the Father if not by me. So basically, Christianity there is claiming to be the only way, the only truth. And I never realized that, hey, wait a minute, you just said that you can spot a false prophet because he will claim to be the only one with the truth. It's funny. That was mind-blowing many years later, because for many years I would have defended the Christian faith. Even, it's funny, sometimes you just want to believe so bad that there is a sky daddy watching out for you. Because the minute you realize that everything you've believed is bullshit, I gotta tell you, when I came to this realization, it was scary at first. I was used to waking up and talking to my celestial father, as if you will. And then when I realized that, what I was taught is bullshit, so there is no celestial father, or at least not in the way that, I'm open to the idea that there may be a higher power. I'm not full blast or full blown atheist yet. I'm open to the idea, but apparently it's not the God of the Bible. I'm just going to say that. Yeah, but it is a scary feeling. The only one thing that I feel good about myself right now is that even though I no longer believe the way I used to believe, there are certain principles that I learned that I still put to practice. And that is waking up with a grateful heart, not holding grudges. Because when it's all said and done, if Christians really followed the teachings of Jesus, maybe the world would be a better place. But you see, those teachings were not really, those teachings were made for basically by the colonizer for colonization purposes, to assimilate the cultures that they were colonizing. Turn the other cheek. Basically, if I come here and I slap you, don't slap me back. Turn the other cheek. It is what it is, Anyway, like I said, that's my 2 cents. You don't have to like it. You don't have to follow me. Hell, fuck. I don't give a fuck. What I'm saying is, I'm not pushing this on you, and I don't expect you to push your beliefs on me either. But like I said, I got a podcast. I have a platform where I can talk and say what I feel. So this is what I feel. Anyway, motherfuckers, I guess I've taken enough time on this. Till next time, you motherfuckers, live each day like it's your last one, because it very well could be. And, do fun stuff. Spend time with your family. Tell them you love them, because that's what it's all about, Loving our families, our friends, those people that make us feel like we belong. Till next time, see ya.